New York Times reviewed a research article recently that discussed which exercise programs are best and which are most effective for which age groups. And we're going to talk about it next on this Back and Body video. Hi, Dr. Dave Perna here with Back and Body, your collaborative care approach of chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, and medical care to the people of the New York City area in Midtown Manhattan, New York City on 58th and Lexington, as well as in Union County on US Route 22 East in Springfield, New Jersey, offering our services to patients of Summit, Milburn, Springfield, Mountainside, Westfield, Cranford, and Garwood. Today's video is going to review a research article in Cell Metabolism in March 2017. Typically, cell metabolism doesn't really get a lot of public viewership, but this article in particular applies to a lot of people. So the research was done by the Mayo Clinic. They took 72 healthy adults that were considered sedentary. They broke them up into groups of people who were below the age of 30 or above the age of 64. They took them and did baselines. They did baselines on aerobic fitness, blood sugar levels, genetic activity, mitochondrial health in the muscle cells. Mitochondria are basically the powerhouse of a cell. Okay, so they did, and then they separated these groups into 4 different assignments of exercise. The first, they didn't do any exercise at all. That's their control group. The other 3 groups did various types of exercise. One was what's considered vigorous weight exercises. They didn't really discuss what they were, but it was purely weightlifting of a heavy variety. The second group did brief interval training, and they described this as 4 minutes of intense pedaling, followed by 3 minutes of rest, followed by, again, a repeat of 4 minutes of intense pedaling and 3 minutes rest. They did that 3 times, so 4 minutes intense rest, pedaling, 3 minutes rest, 3 times. The other group did a little bit of both. They did 30 minutes straight of just moderate activity on the stationary bike, no interval, just evenly paced, followed by a light weights. Every other day they would also do light weights. So one day, 30 minutes of light pedaling at a moderate pace, consistent, and then the following day, just a light weight training activity. First, the thing they noted for all groups that were active was they all had an increase in fitness, and how they determined that was their ability to regulate blood sugar. Then they looked a little bit further. Obviously, the people who had the highest gains in strength and muscle increase was the group that just did vigorous weights. The one that showed best endurance is interesting because you hear a lot of people, which is better, going out for a jog for 30 minutes and going a long period of distance, or doing sprint work. Well, the interval training won on endurance. So interval training of pedaling 4 minutes and resting 3 showed an increase of aerobic fitness over just a consistent pedaling of 30 minutes. So shorter workout, better gains in aerobic activity. So that's important for everybody to understand. The interval training seems to have a better effect if you're looking to do races or have an increase in aerobic fitness. They went even further than that. They biopsied the cells, again, of the 72 people who were active. This is where it gets very interesting depending on age groups. In the young age group, 274 gene expression changes had occurred with the people who did interval training. There was 170 changes in gene expression for the people who did moderate weightlifting. And there was moderate weightlifting and the moderate cycling. So 30 minutes cycling one day, moderate weightlifting the next day. They had 70 changes in gene expression for the young people who just did weight training only. So this tells us from a genetic change and improvement standpoint, interval training in the young population showed the greatest changes in effect. For the older population, that's people who are 64 or older, they had 400 changes in gene expression for interval training. This is where it changes a little bit for the older population. The 33 changes in gene expression for purely weightlifting, and just 19 changes in gene expression for moderate aerobic activity followed by lightweight training. So if you're a person who wants to get the biggest bang for your buck, it sounds like interval training is the way to go. In both the young group and the older group above 64, you had the biggest changes in cellular activity and gene expression. And the gene expression was defined as what they thought would be changes in mitochondrial activity in the muscle cell. Once again, that is the motor. That's the powerhouse of the muscle. For the older people, and finally for weight training only, they had 19 changes in gene expression if they did the moderate exercise. That's sitting on the bike for 30 minutes and some light weight training. Well, this is important to note because if you look at most people's exercise programs, it consists of weight training one day, moderate to light activities, maybe a circuit if you're just looking for a quick fix in the gym, followed by the next day maybe doing some light walking, running, or cycling on a bike. That showed the least amount of effect for the older population. So you really should think about your choices in exercise prescription and program. It's also noted in the study that older people showed a greater gene change and expression in gene changes with exercise. So it is never too late to begin exercise. For more information like this, please visit our website, backandbodyny.com, and if you're in New Jersey, backandbodynj.com. We have a selection of blogs for you to read.